Welcome back, brush monkeys, and this week we're doing another organizing video. So you may remember a couple weeks ago we did a video on my color studies book where I talked about how useful this multimedia art book was for keeping track of your paints and how they look and their finish and all this kind of stuff. This is one great tool. If you didn't catch that video, go back and check that out because it's useful. Today we're talking about the miniature manager and how I use this to help with my miniature painting as well. I've got a few different kinds here. I've got three different notebooks going at once. This one I had actually started when I got back into miniature painting after taking a little hiatus. And it was, it's just a spiral notebook, just a simple, it doesn't need to be multiple kinds, but, I mean multiple, trying to think what it says. Chapters, the headers, little dividers in here. Doesn't need to necessarily be a divided one or multiple subject notebook. It's just the multi-subject notebooks tend to have the most paper in them for some reason. If you get a little single subject notebook, it usually doesn't have that much in it. But excuse me, these miniature managers come in real handy. When I was getting back into miniature painting, I started taking notes on a lot of different things, like how to strip paint off old miniatures, how to rejuvenate the dragon scale wax when that went bad, and how to bring that back to life, magnetizing models, painting fire. A lot of different techniques that I was learning, I was taking notes in this notebook for, and this was a really fantastic resource for all kinds of different things. I'd put, quotes about art in there and all sorts of things. Keeps you motivated, keeps you inspired to keep painting. Keeps track of everything you've learned. So if you want to learn how to, maybe you want another different way to paint bone, you got notes for how to paint bone in there. Just every little thing you learn, write it down. Keep track of it. And if you need to know it again, if it comes up again, then you've got a resource that you can refer to and work from that. So that's one use for it. Another use for it is these folded down pages. I was writing down like materials and paints and stuff that I needed, and as I got them, I went ahead and marked them off and then filled the pages. Like, to me, a weathering master sets and what those involve. And then I eventually got to where I was like taking more notes in those because there wasn't that much stuff I actually needed, and I realized a lot of the stuff I was buying was kind of junk, so didn't really need that much stuff. And again, started taking notes on stuff. A lot of this is like if you watch YouTube videos on how to paint miniatures, and there's a technique that an artist uses that you really like, write it down, take notes on their videos, learn from the best. So yeah, I was taking notes on a lot of that. You can see I still got a lot of blank paper in this one because that's what I was using it for. So this is where all my notes are going to go from here on out. And then back here I've got projects to plan out. See that? How I plan out miniatures, get a picture of the miniature, plan out what colors I want to use where. Big projects like doing freehand on the side of a tank. I keep recipes for how I paint all my figures and all my units in there. And this is really the biggest use for a miniature manager, is once you've got this whole notes on how you want to paint your miniatures. Like this is from the what was it called? Death Watch Overkill set. I took pictures of the miniatures from the assembly instructions and worked out how I wanted to paint them. Now, if I ever want to do another set like that, I've got recipes for how I painted it. If the figure ever gets damaged and I have to repaint it, I've got recipes for how I did it, how it came out. If somebody says they really like how that miniature was painted, how did you do that? How'd you get that effect on there? I've got notes on how it happened. I've got particularly on things like the let me get further back here, the Gene Stealer cults, Gene Stealer cultists, how I did their skin. Got recipes for you know, each generation of hybrids and what their skin looks like. So that came out really nice. Little flyers for things that I go to. But so yeah, I've got that. I've got this other miniature manager. This one is almost entirely plans and projects. Got the 8th edition starter box, the Dark Imperium starter box, minis with the Primaris Marines. I was going to paint them. This is a bust that my brother-in-law sent me for my birthday or Christmas one year. I was working out how I was going to paint that. I've got plans for a friend of mine's figure. Those of you that remember when I painted that fairy for my friend Holly, this is how I planned it out, and this is how I worked out how the glitter was going to look on the skin and all this kind of thing. All these different plans for different miniatures in here. All the old school stuff, all the, yeah. So just work out all these different schemes. I've got notes for how I did all of it. All the stuff that's tagged in red on the side here is miniatures I haven't done yet. So all of these will show up in future videos, which is kind of cool. Give you a little sneak peek of some of the stuff I got coming up here. But yeah, it helps to have planned out how you're going to paint it. So when you sit down to paint, you've already got a color scheme worked out, and you've already got an idea of what you're doing. You'll waste a lot less time actually planning it out while you've got the paints. You've already got the plan laid out, then you just pick your paints and get to work. You'll notice a lot of times when I start my videos, I've got this notebook off to the side, and then I've got my paint station with all the paints already laid out, because I already had a plan for how I was going to do this guy, kind of thing. So again, this one also has more schemes for miniatures, some stuff I've done off camera, some stuff I've done for paint and takes. Not as many pictures in this one, because I have reached a point where when you put the pictures in the thing, it takes up a lot of space right in the middle, because it's 2 layers of paper and tape and everything. And so you can see how this one's kind of warped out from that. It's from all those pictures being taped in there. So I'm kind of trying to get away from that and just focusing on getting the things right. Although some things it helps to have pictures in it. Like back here I did this Dormammu project, painting Dormammu for a local game store. This thing came out really fantastic. I'm really like how it planned out, but I also kept track of everything I was doing while I was working on it and how long it took and all this kind of thing. Finished that, and then did another one for Doctor Strange and Cleo and kept track of how long that took. And then I've got, let's see, back here I've got more paint schemes. Some of this stuff is for, none of this is red tagged, because this is all like a samurai army I'm putting together for Warlords of Erewhon. And this is how I'm going to paint all their little banners and how their armor and all this other kind of stuff. And then I've got, you know, other paint schemes that I've used for paint and take minis. I'm just writing it down again in case it gets damaged, in case I want to paint another one like it, you know, what have you. I've got a scheme built out for how to do that. So these, I mean, it seems like a really simple idea, and this wasn't going to be a very long video because it is kind of a simple idea, but it really does make a huge difference in your painting, and it helps you to think in terms of color schemes and things like that. And this, along with the color studies book, is an invaluable part of planning out a project. I'll write, you know, I'll go over the miniature, write down everything in the book, go through the color studies and figure out, okay, well, I want the belt and boots to be brown. Well, what color brown do I want? I want snakebite leather, I want hardened leather, I want to do Steel Legion drab, uniform brown, dryad bark. I've got a dozen different browns. You can see on my shelf here, this entire shelf is all brown paint of different tones and hues and what have you. So it is a lot to think about. And same with skin tones. You know, if I want this person to be pale skinned or dark skinned, or, you know, how dark do I want to go? How light do I want to go? What nationality am I trying for? And I've got different recipes for different skin tones. I've got different recipes for different like undead skin tones and ground coverings and grass and all this kind of stuff. So it helps you write all that down, helps to have resources that you can refer back to when you're like, oh, I really like the base on that figure. How did I do that? Well, here's how. It's, it's right in here. So it's a good resource. I definitely recommend getting a notebook and keeping track of what you're doing. Even if you just like sit down with the finished miniature and say, okay, well, I painted the shirt this, I painted the pants that, I painted the boots this other color. Just having that on hand can get you to start thinking in terms of color schemes and contrast and complementary colors and what works together and what doesn't. You know, maybe you put a bunch of colors together and you look at the figure and like, I really don't like that. That doesn't look right. Well, now you've got it written down how you did it. You can consult a book on color theory and go, oh, okay, that's why that didn't work right, because that and that don't go together. So, and like I said, it's a useful resource for learning how to do different things. It's a great resource for taking notes if you're watching a lot of YouTube videos. Keep notes on the YouTube videos and learn stuff from other artists. It's always good to learn from other people. So go get yourself one of these little notebooks. I like the Mead Ultimate because they've got this nice, they don't have like paper covers, they got this nice hard plastic cover and then like really thick cardboard on the back. So it helps to protect the notebook and keep it together. So go get yourself a notebook and start taking notes. All right. And thanks for watching, and I will see you guys later. Bye. Hey brush monkeys, Tom here. If you like what you see, click like down below. I think it's over on that side. If you want to be notified when new videos come out, click subscribe. New videos post mostly on Fridays. The regularly scheduled ones post on Fridays, but you know, if something comes up, I'll post something anytime. So go check that out. Click like, click subscribe. Both of those help with my YouTube numbers. If you want to rock some of the Fly Monkey merch, like a t-shirt, long sleeve t-shirt, sweatshirt, hoodies, masks, whatever, go check out our merch store at storefrontier.com/FlyMonkeyStudios. If you want to support me in other ways, there's my Amazon wish list. Feel free to check that out. Check out our Instagram, Twitter, Tumblr, and Facebook accounts. And thanks for watching. I'll see you guys later. Bye.